everyone, this is Sodhi from CAAN Wings Consultants. I want to talk to you about the top 5 concerns that you have regarding your skilled migration application for Australia. So I've been getting these questions off and on from varied applicants. I thought I'd probably try and answer these questions in this video. So let's get started. The first question a lot of people are concerned about is that what if our IELTS or skills assessment expires soon? So yes, that's a very, very valid concern. I do understand that almost 2 years were eaten away by the COVID, and people who had got their skills assessment done are probably heading towards the end of the skills assessment validity. So obviously that's a concern you do need to look into. So if you are somebody whose skills assessment is about to expire soon, I strongly recommend that please go ahead and put up an application for a renewal and assessment of additional employment with the VERASES, if VERASES is your skills assessment body or whatever your skills assessment body is. Do not just put up an application for a renewal, also put it up for an assessment of additional employment. If you do not put up your application for renewal before the expiration of the assessment, then you will have to pay the full fee in case you put up the application for renewal after the assessment expires. So putting up an application well in time not only would save you money, it can also ensure that you always have a valid assessment. You time it up in a manner that by the time your assessment is going to expire, you already have a renewed application with you. And since you must be aware that returning applicants, those who are looking at renewing the applications, skills assessments are not priority applicants. They cannot use the priority processing. So your application will have to go through the standard processing. So you need to make sure you do it well in time. Now, how about those whose English proficiency scores are about to expire? My take on that is very similar to that of a skills assessment. Please ensure that you retake your English proficiency test before the existing test expires, so that at any given point of time you always have all your documents absolutely valid. So this is the planning you need to do in terms of your skill migration while you're waiting for the nomination opportunity to come through. Now the next question a lot of people ask is, what if the invitations are delayed, or when is the next invitation round likely to happen? Now this is a question obviously I do not have an answer to, and I'm asked this question very, very frequently. Ma'am, when do you think the next invitation round will happen? See, you need to look at it this way. No state has specified on its website as to when would it be conducting the invitation rounds. They don't have a phase. I mean, though we do understand they are likely to conduct it once in a month or so, but they have not specified that we'll be conducting it every month or every 3 months or whatever. So the invitations can happen anytime. It can happen on Monday. It can take another month or so. This is an answer probably nobody will have for you, so it's even futile asking this question. All I can say is that, well, you just wait it out. It can happen anytime. But since we are heading towards the close of the migration year, that is 2022-23, we do understand that the states are under a lot of pressure to fill up their quota. So they are likely to speed up the invitation rounds now between March and between June end. Now, a lot of clients share some statistics with me and say that, we've been looking up over the websites and we found that, probably 50 to 60% quota for each state has already been consumed, and some states are left with just 40% quota, some with 30% quota. So does that mean that we have scarce chances of getting an invitation? Well, I would not really say so. A lot of occupations are being handled by the states in a very typical manner. For example, some occupations have not received much invitations. So I'm imagining that probably this last trimester is what they will be scheduling for invitation for those particular occupations. And then again, a lot of people think that probably, we need to increase our point score in order to better our chances for getting a nomination. Now, while it is always beneficial to have a higher point score, it is not necessary that only those with a higher point score are the ones who are invited, because I can tell you, we've got invitations for a lot of occupations who are sitting at just 65 points and 6 bands in each section, and they have got an invitation. On the other hand, we've got applicants who are sitting at 100 or 105 points and sitting at maybe like 8 bands each. They have yet not got an invitation. So it kind of depends on the state's priority, what particular occupation that particular state is prioritizing, and so on. Now, then the very, very important million-dollar question is regarding the private tutors. What about the private tutors? So I'll give you a very realistic scenario about the private tutors. To be very honest, ever since the nominations began, not many private tutors have got an invitation yet. When I say not many, I would say you can literally count on your fingers. So very, very few invitations have been given to private tutors. And of course, those who have been sitting at like 85, 90 points and so on. Now, there are just 2 states private tutors can seek nominations from. That is the state of South Australia and the state of Victoria. So those are the only 2 states, and both these states are obviously invitation based. There's no way that private tutors could have directly lodged an application for a nomination, since the occupation is not listed in the state of NSW. Now, a word of caution here, that those private tutors are thinking that probably we're doomed and we're not going to get any nomination or something. Let me tell you, it is not so. In fact, it seems that the Immigration Department, the state migration authorities are grappling with how to balance the number of positive assessments available in the skill select for private tutors and the number of nominations available. So I think they just have enough quota to fit in all the people who already have a positive assessment, which is why the wedges is now trying to, in a way, restrict further positive skills assessments for private tutors. A lot of private tutors are going through stringent verifications, site verifications, because now the wedges wants to limit the number of positive assessments, or let's say approvals given out to private tutors, because there are already too many private tutors with positive assessments, and if they give out more positive assessments, probably the states will not have enough quota to provide nominations to private tutors. So all I can say is that those of you who've already got positive assessments for private tutors, stay put. You should be accommodated very, very soon. And those who are planning to apply for the occupation of a private tutor, please make sure your documents are ready and complete, absolutely, and be ready for any kind of very stringent checks, which can also mean a physical verification check, which can be very, very tough. And you have to literally pass an acid test in order to get approval for a private tutor now. Okay, so now that brings me to the last question. What if we are not selected in this particular migration year, that is 22-23? Does that mean that we don't have any chance for getting immigration? Absolutely not. This migration year will end on the 30th of June. And even if, I'm going with a very extreme hypothetical situation, even if you do not get a nomination by the end of June, you have huge opportunities to look forward to from 1st July onwards, because the quotas will be reset on the 1st of July, and we are probably looking at a much larger quota for the migration year 23-24. So even if you do not get picked up by June, you are very likely to be absorbed in July or August, owing to the renewed and a very high quota that will be available. So I think I'll keep it limited to this much. It's been almost like 9 minutes 45 seconds. So until next time, bye bye and take care.